Hey book nerds, welcome to my channel. So today I am filming my Witchathon TBR. I have coincidentally picked what is perhaps the most depressing day of the year so far to film this. It's absolutely miserable outside. I'm not sure if you can hear the rain, but it's just decided to get really dark, which is possibly bad for filming, but is very thematic to this TBR. So this it's the Witchathon, and it was started by Crescent Moon Reads. I will link her channel down below. And it is a week-long readathon. It runs from the 24th of October right up till Halloween, so it's perfect for the end of the month. And all the challenges are kind of witchy, spooky themed. So I'll go through the challenges and what I'm reading for them. So the first challenge is to read a book that makes you warm and happy. This is actually, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to read for this one yet. It's October. I have a lot of horror books on my TBR and I've read a lot of horror books. They're not really designed for making you feel warm and happy, and a lot of my books on my TBR actually aren't designed to make you feel warm and happy either. So for this one I might do Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, I think is what it's called. It's a short story anthology. It is possibly my favourite book that I've read so far this year. I've already read it this year. I think I read it in April and I loved it. Really loved it. So it does make me warm and happy even if the content isn't exactly warm and fuzzy, but I'm not too sure I want to reread another book that I've already read this year. Last week I reread a Stephen King that I've read this year, and I've got so many new books on my list that I should really start ploughing through those. So I might see if I can find something else for that challenge. So the next challenge is to read a book with paranormal elements. I've chosen Say Her Name by, I believe it's by James Dawson. I don't have the books with me, I'm sorry, they're all ebooks. And this is a book about Bloody Mary, so it's effectively the legend of Bloody Mary, which I'm sure you all know. The idea is that if you say Bloody Mary into the mirror 3 times by candlelight, Bloody Mary will appear and kill you. Sometimes she does nice things, but most of the time she kills you. And the premise of this book is that some students do it. Unfortunately, they do it in the one place which is really haunted by Bloody Mary, and so they have 5 days to save themselves, or they will mysteriously vanish. So that's the book I chose for that challenge. It's also going to be the one that I'm doing for the challenge where you have to read by candlelight. I thought it was appropriate since Bloody Mary's summoned by candle. And I will be reading that right after I film this video because, like I said, it's very dark, it's very grey, and it's perfect weather for reading by candlelight. Next challenge is to read a thriller or a horror book, and I'm combining that with this other challenge, which is to read a book relating to your ancestors. So I am white British, which is pretty much not a very interesting ancestry. There's not really much I could do with that, so I've chosen this thriller, which is Dead Gone by Luca Veste, and it's set in Liverpool, which is where I'm from, and it's about a serial killer who is killing students from a particular university, and the description's vague as per most thrillers, but essentially it implies that he's doing some kind of experiment on them before he dies. So I've chosen this one because it's set in Liverpool, where I'm from, fits that. It's also, potentially with the experiment angle, I did psychology at university and it might relate to that, which it'd be really cool if it did, and it's like my psychological academic history as well. So those are those challenges. The next challenge is to do a buddy read. I don't have any friends yet on YouTube since I'm brand new. So I'm not doing that, but yeah, I'll just skip over that one. And the final challenge is to do the group buddy read, which is to read The Girl Who Drank the Moon. I'd never heard of this book before watching the Witchathon video, but it sounds really interesting. It's about a village and they give away children to this witch, and she's meant to kill them, but she doesn't kill them. She instead keeps them and looks after them. And I believe that the plot of this one is she accidentally feeds one of the children. She feeds them with starlight normally, and she accidentally feeds it with moonlight, and this child develops magical powers, so the witch has to look after and raise the child because she's got magical powers. That was a terrible description, I'm sorry. I'll link the book below the Goodreads page and you can read the actual blurb. But yeah, I'm excited to read that. It is middle grade, which isn't normally my jam, but I'm open-minded and it sounds very interesting. So I believe that is all of the Witchathon challenges. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like if you did, comment below if you're doing Witchathon, and if you've got any videos I'll happily watch them. And yeah, I hope you have a good week.